This is Stars and Scopes with your pal Uma Ruby. Updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, do listen to your rising sign first if you know it, but do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're loving this work and you've got some coins to spare, throw them in the tin over at buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby and you can buy me a coffee. Okay, let's drop into it. Hello Libra and Libra risings. Welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Gemini happening on the 30th of May. Now, we can take a breath and we can settle into the changes that the eclipse brought about this last month. From memory, I think that it was your second house of work and talents and material possessions and things like that that was being affected by this eclipse axis. So what we can do now is we can take a breath with that knowledge, really kind of feel the change reverberate around us as a collective too. Some really positive, beautiful changes, some progress can be felt. But let's relax a bit and let's settle down into the darkness of a new moon. Let's chill and let's use the energy left here on the planet to actively manifest, to co-create. We can start doing our spell work again now that we're out of the eclipse's way for the moment. You know, it's time that we can ask for what we'd like to receive. Now, there's a couple of mildly difficult aspects still up in the sky at the moment that I wanted to talk you quickly through, but then there's also some really positive stuff. So I'll get the difficult stuff out of the way first. Saturn, our planet of restriction, is still in Aquarius at 25 degrees. This time around, it's found itself in a square with Mercury in Taurus at 26 degrees. Mercury is also retrograde. So that kind of might be playing out for you in terms of feeling restricted with the way that you're passing along information or holding back truth, or misunderstandings can really crop up with this kind of aspect as well. So really just be mindful of that. Know that that is happening, you know, on the whole to a lot of different people, and be understanding if it perhaps you're on the receiving end of some kind of misunderstanding. So that's happening. The new moon at 9 degrees of Gemini is activating your 9th house. I wonder if you've been thinking about travel. I wonder if the travel bug's been sort of niggling away at you, or if there's something that you'd love to pick up as a form of study, if there's some kind of wisdom tradition that you are just drawn to and you can't help it. You want to learn more about this thing or that thing, the other thing. You might be feeling a greater connection to spirit world. That might be cropping up for you. Your esotericism or your faith may have been reinvigorated in some way. So this is going to be a great moon to call some of that in. Perhaps call in a teacher, or call in a course of study or a journey that will help you on your way in this kind of stuff. To have Gemini rule your 9th house is perfect, and that really goes to explain the interest in, the active chatter, the communicating, the way that your learning style, because you're a lovely air sign like Gemini, your learning style is really activated by chatting it out, by kind of open talks or lectures or that kind of transference of information. I'm not sure if you can hear outside, but the birds are just cutting sick as I'm doing this reading. It's really sweet. Talk about chatty Cathys. They're all feeling their Gemini oats right now. It's really cute. So focus in on that for this new moon. Think about all of those aspects that I've just mentioned and know that this is all being supported by a really lovely conjunction between Jupiter and Mars in Aries. So Jupiter, as we know, it's the planet that expands everything. It's the planet that sort of puts a magnifying glass and looks down and sort of encourages. Jupiter's a really encouraging energy. To be in a conjunction with Mars, our passion leader, the leader of the pack, Mars is the planet that drives us forward, that gives us our fire, that sort of lights that fire under our bum to get us going. So in the relay of life, Jupiter's in the front row of Aries race and is like, yep, go for it, girl. You can do it. Run a mile. Now, Aries rules your seventh house of intimate relationships, of lovers, of sometimes close business partners, but really, it's your soulmates. It's people that you really feel like a strong soul-to-soul connection with, people that you just feel drawn to, that you feel that you've known for the longest time. So for this passion to be running and generating through that part of your life right now, use that as momentum and use that as coal for the fire of your manifestations in terms of your mind expansion and your will to travel and to grow and to learn. Where Mars sits at 4 degrees in Aries, there's a tarot card for that. It's the Two of Wands, and that is the moment of making an action plan. I'm painting the tarot, and I've painted the Two of Wands as Sissy Hankshaw from Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. Sissy's always on the move. She's always heading from one coast to the next, moving around, hitchhiking away, this, that, there, the other. So think about that kind of vibe when you're in company with your lovers. Use that time to start writing the treasure map, start planning it out, the journey, by saying it, by putting it out there, you'll be surprised at what materializes. There's so much power in thought. So use it wisely. It's really positive energy to go through. Now, the new moon is happening at 9 degrees of Gemini. The tarot card for that is the Eight of Swords. This is a little bit more difficult. This kind of is that moment when there's too many thoughts in your head and you're sort of feeling a bit constricted or a bit locked by the different perspectives that are entering your awareness, your consciousness. There might be some difficult truths that you're kind of feeling bound by, that you're reluctant to give forth. There might be some kind of hard truths that you've been given, that you've heard. This could be in relation perhaps to some of your second house stuff that's being eclipsed right now, to the way that you're earning your buck and the way that you're taking care of yourself and other people. So there could be some pressure there. There could be some difficulty in the thought forms that are happening. So in that energy, with keeping that in mind, that constriction, Saturn's echoing that too. Hold on tight to the fire. Hold on tight to Mars in Aries, your lovers. Use that to egg you on to start journeying. Manifest expansion of the mind, I think, is probably the simplest way. I could have done this reading with that one sentence, Manifest expansion of the mind. So that's what's happening up in the sky. That's the planet reading. I did pull a separate spread for a more intuitive understanding of what might be going on and how we can relate some separate messages to this reading. I won't lie, it's interesting. So on the back of the deck, I got the Ten of Swords, which is another Gemini card, but it is the moment of an ending. It's a difficult ending. It's very painful. It's feeling completely run out of steam and that there's no life left in whatever it is that is coming to mind for you right now, that it's over. The sun is rising though in the Ten of Swords card, so there is hope for regeneration. There is potential for warmth to enter the space again. It's a really painful card, so if you are feeling at the moment that you're completely out of gas, I really just want to hold you in this moment. I know what that feels like, and know that everything operates in a circle. Remember the cyclical nature of this planet and how naturally water moves in a circle and how a snail's shell is cyclical, the inside petals of a rose, the shapes of the planets, the spheres. Think about that everything comes around. So you're not going to be alone forever. You're not going to be in this state of sadness or whatever it is that you might be thinking. This is going to be something workable and we can move through this. Now, we're going to use the Ten of Swords as a base note energy for this reading, okay? So let's use it as the potential for a freshness. Let's use it as a moment to grieve the losses and to move forward. In the reading, I got the Lovers card for you. I got the Seven of Wands and I got the Ace of Cups. Now, you don't have to read tarot to know what this means. You've got a choice coming up. There's a really beautiful connection that can either be reinvigorated, regenerated, or that can be fostered as a freshness, a new offer. There's a choice here. There's a big choice. I'm looking at the Lovers card and I'm seeing how one of the figures in this card is looking up to spirit, looking up to the angels. This could be representative of your newfound quest for knowledge. This could be your spirituality cracking open. There may be some defensiveness that you're feeling. You may have to protect your commitment. You may have to protect your integrity in some way. There might be forces that are combating you either on this journey or in this new coupling. If we're going to look at the Lovers in a literal sense like that, this could be to do with your sense of self. You know, the Ace of Cups is a direct offer from the hand of spirit, a brand new beginning in emotional bonding. This is a real freshness. There's a bountiful flow to this card. So I am getting a sense that there is something in the emotional realms here that we're working with or we're talking about. There is something that has come to a finite end, and there is right around the corner a beautiful beginning for you, and it's really abundantly flowing and fresh. There's a sense of it being by a spring, a natural spring washing over you. Temper some of this defensiveness. I think maybe in the Seven of Wands vibe, I'm getting a bit of that Mars energy, the passion. Sometimes Aries in a low vibration, Mars in a low vibration can be defensive, quick to protect themselves or defend themselves. So just monitor that. I'm gonna leave this reading here, Libra. I think that that's painted a nice picture. Look, thanks so much for tuning in and listening once again. If you'd like to throw some coins in the pot, you're most welcome to head over to buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby. That's where I receive my tip and service. And also, I'll be with you in 2 weeks and we can discuss the full moon in Sagittarius and what we can look forward to, again, letting go of. But rather than eclipse season, we've got autonomy in this release with stuff that we are actively letting go of. So much love to you, and I'll speak to you then. Ta-da.